Ugh, I've got too many bills.
If you need funds, you can apply in minutes at cashnetusa.com and have the money in your account as soon as the same business day.
Okay, got it. Applying now.
They've been helping hardworking people cover emergency expenses since 2004.
Hey, look, I got it.
You've got this.
When you need money fast, be the hero. All loans subject to lender approval. Speed of funding is subject to verifications and your bank's processing times. See cashnetusa.com for more details.
We all have that piece. You know the one. The thing that's so you've basically become known for it. And if you don't have yours yet, you'll find it on eBay. Let me put you on, fashionistas. eBay is where you'll find those one-of-a-kind, can't stop researching, stay up dreaming about pieces. I'm talking that Miu Miu off the runway red leather bomber, the Custo Barcelona top with the cowboy on it, or that Patagonia fleece in the 2017 colorway. All these finds are on eBay, and they even offer millions of main character pieces backed by authenticity guarantee. eBay is the place for pre-loved and vintage fashion. eBay. Things people love.
Hello, my saucy, pert, and greasy friends. You are listening to a recording from our bi-weekly live stream, which is on twitch.tv/LPNTV. This is just news of the week that we talk about, and it goes up to our feed after we record it. This is not a part of the LDS main season episodes, but please hang out and listen to us chatter along, and then check out our regular episodes as well. Thank you. Enjoy. Allowed to have specific hopes in there. It's not like you could have been like, I want to be a physicist.
No, yeah, I want to go to Hollywood and be an actress. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Place Under Neith.
I'm Natalie Jean.
I'm Amber Nelson. We're talking about hope chests and what happened to those.
We're saying it's probably because the hope chest always just had wishes about your husband in them. Like you weren't allowed to have wishes to go to college. Because you just said, I don't even think I knew this, that a hope chest was the only thing you were to take to your husband's home when you moved in with him.
Right, because you'd fill it up your whole life, and then when you get married at 14, like you do, then you bring all your blankets and stuff.
Yeah, all of your...
And your guns.
Your guns, your stuffed animals, all of your...
There's no hopes. You're right, your friend Carrie.
Yeah.
We have a giant, I know you can't see it on screen, but it's like a grandmother-sized cell phone. It's like this big, and I can see clearly all of your chats.
It's like a re-engineered, or what's it called, reverse-engineered teleprompter made out of an old computer.
I love it.
It's
Great job.
thrifty.
Everyone's so smart here.
I feel like earlier today, you came, when I came in, you were like, you look great. You look really professional today. And I had to break the news to you that it's because I'm wearing a costume from Crescent City. It's a wolf shifter, human hybrid costume. On the planet of Midworld. I'm wearing a blazer, and unfortunately, it's because I was dressed as a wolf character earlier.
Well, you look like you could be working at professional bitch company.
I mean, she is a professional in Midgard.
Yeah.
In Lunathian, she is a big-ass deal, and she is a bitch.
And this is on Crescent City?
Yes.
Good. I love it. Stay tuned for what? Not stay tuned, because that's going to happen, I don't know, but the other show, Crescent City, with Jackie Zabrowski.
It's not right now.
No.
But I am wearing the same outfit because I had 10 minutes window today, and I had to choose between finding a new outfit or eating a snack.
Eat a snack, baby. I got this dress from Goodwill. Yeah, and I paired it with a belt that I also got.
Your hair looks great, too.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this, boys. Look at this.
My belt look.
Yeah, my shoulders are exposed.
Yeah, you fucking slut.
Ready to get pregnant.
But now...
This is how you get pregnant. You put the penis right here.
Right.
And you go like this.
You could wear the new Mormon garments because they're now sleeveless. So...
Wow, we love progressivism.
Yeah. We sure do.
We love it. Thrifty Slay. Thank you. I only ever shop at places I have to dig around for. I don't like it when things are presented to me I can't imagine going into a Zara right now and then being like, I want that. Like, I want to find and dig like a little squirrel.
Well, that's better for the world and the planet, too.
Sure. Now, that's what I call feminist.
Feminist?
Right. Yeah, it's the hunt, little Ash. It's the hunt, and then bragging about how little I spent. I spent $1.99 on this dress.
Yeah, girl.
Yes, say slay.
Your friend Carrie, you have a hope chest? What's in it? Are you allowed to tell, or is that supposed to be a secret that you only share with God?
Carrie, tell us. What's in your hope chest?
What's in there?
What's in there, Carrie?
Tell me.
Tell us.
The show will not continue
What's
until
in
we
your
find
hope
out.
chest, Carrie?
What's in it?
What's in there? 6 blankets. That's what she said. 6 blankets. All right. Well, we're safe.
Okay.
Is there a gun wrapped in one?
You should. That's a good way to store your gun, is wrapped loosely in a blanket.
Hey, my mother, when she visited Saudi Arabia, or she lived there and was coming to the States, you know what? I shouldn't say that. It's not a gun. It's not a gun.
I don't know if she can be retroactively arrested for that.
No, it's nothing. We'll move on.
Wow.
Sometimes
we were about to get a really good story.
But sometimes you can wrap things up in panties and the boys at the airport won't check. So.
Oh, you're giving people tips on how to commit felonies.
Worldwide felonies. Crimes.
I think when your mom maybe traveled at that point that the TSA was like less advanced, because now they can just like look at your vagina through a screen.
Now, I don't know why, like this was last year when I came back from Germany. They were like, I went back to the TSA in America and they're like, hi, Amber, how was your trip? And I was like, how did you know my name? How?
Well, I don't know how they knew your name, but now they, you go through the airport now, most of the places, and they take a picture of you to have, like, essentially they can track you through the airport.
I like it and I don't.
Yeah, it's like, which...
I like it and I don't. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
It's good because sometimes you can find missing people and people who are, trafficked and stuff, but also, I guess I don't... I understand the rebellion of not wanting it, but also I'm not going to commit felonies. So at least I'm not planning on it. And so it's not like my problem, I guess.
But like, what if they're like, has anybody seen the movie Brazil? And then one little thing happens and it's like, get him. And then like, what if I'm just kind of like, la la, like coming back from a flight and they're like, there's our CIA assets. And I'm like, me?
Unfortunately, I think that is the fantasy of a lot of like preppers and libertarians that they just like get aroused by the idea that the government's going to come after them, which is why they must have 12 guns at all times and refuse to have like their thumbprints taken and stuff like that. I'm not saying they're like incorrect exactly, but are they?
What are they? Bobby Flay says, I have my grandma's cedar wood hope chest and she like paper macheted paper bags on it and painted it white, and I couldn't believe she wouldn't have covered such a pretty wood, but her marriage was terrible, so that probably explains it. No hope. Like somebody said earlier, womp womp. Well, sorry, Grandma, maybe she's thriving. Maybe she's in the nursing home getting some hot Cheeto cock.
Ooh, spicy.
Well, speaking of surveillance.
Yeah, and we're going to talk a little bit about fashion stuff, too, in a little bit. I wanted to discuss some stuff that we're purchasing or not purchasing in the next few years. But
oh, right. Bad boys and the good boys.
You had some fun surveillance news.
In the surveillance news, so there's a man, and he was in Manchester, United Kingdom, and he's just been arrested. But I don't know if you've ever seen those videos where they say like night out in the UK and it's a bunch of women walking into the club. And it just seems like kind of eerie, to be honest, because how it's positioned, it's in the bushes, like you're some kind of leper. Well, the guy, 27-year-old man, he was arrested because he also had unconsenting images of upskirt shots and nude photos of women that he would put on these private servers. But let's play the video first, and then I'll have like a bigger question to pose afterwards.
A man has been arrested on suspicion of harassment and voyeurism following a series of viral videos filming women in Manchester city centre. Greater Manchester Police conducted a warrant in Bradford on Wednesday morning, November 27th.
Oh, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
Police! Police!
Okay, so you're being arrested on suspicion of harassment and voyeurism. Okay.
Let's get the little blurry faces.
I like how his face is blurred.
Yeah,
What?
really.
No, Manchester.
It follows a Manchester Evening News investigation into the videos. They saw women filmed without their knowledge, often in vulnerable positions, on Peter Street and Deansgate. Investigations by the MEN exposed the trend and revealed how vloggers were posting more explicit videos behind paywalls. It is understood to be the first arrest in the country linked with viral social media videos of women on nights out. The videos had been viewed millions of times and had also been filmed in places like London, Liverpool and Leeds. The 27-year-old suspect remains in police custody for questioning. Follow for more.
So I like that his face was...
Make sure we protect him.
To protect him, but meanwhile the girls, because, see, these girls were going out. Again, it's not illegal to film someone in London in public, but the way it was being done, with you're in the bushes looking at them, sort of watching out, and then being put on certain sites, these women were harassed and doxxed.
So, like, some of his videos were just them, like, him being, like, a bit of a lecher, like, staring at them, but also... There was upskirt stuff? Is that like both things were there?
Both. Well, the upskirt stuff was done on more private forums, but publicly, like, you can go online right now and just type in night out in Manchester, and there's just flocks of women going to the bar. And there's always a creepy feeling about it because I wanted to open it up. Like, it's technically legal, but what makes it illegal is having a sort of the placement of the camera down below. It's sort of this voyeuristic implication.
Yeah. Like, where's the line?
Where's the line?
Yeah, I don't know.
Thank you, XR626. Thank you, XAR.
Oh, thanks so much, XR626. That is, that's challenging because also I think sometimes the laws don't keep up with tech stuff. So,
right.
Like, the rules maybe when the laws were made were a lot more clear about, like, if you had a big camcorder, you were doing this or this. And now that cameras are teeny tiny and stuff can be uploaded all the time, maybe are the laws up to date to, compare to that? And also, I don't know how that differs to, I don't know how the UK laws differ to the states' laws. And probably each state individually has very separate laws as far as like what you can and can't film. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know what defines what is legal and just kind of creepy and what is...
Right.
What should be illegal, I guess.
Well, also, he wasn't specifically there filming to put the camera in the bushes under the ground. I don't know how to say it feels illegal because I can't say that in court. I'm fired. Like, what is this?
Like, if he plants the camera in a place where you can see up people's clothes, like, shouldn't that, even if he's not tracking them, if he just lays it somewhere where people are passing by and you can see people's underwear, shouldn't that be a crime?
It was mostly just women in like really attractive outfits. They looked bodies tea, wonderful, go out girls. But it was the implications of let's all go harass them. Because when you put them on these sites like X, let's all go harass and then essentially shut down the nightlife of girls going out. That's like the end goal here.
It's just so annoying.
It's just so annoying. It's annoying.
That just is so fucking sad. Like, you're spending your 20s and doing that. That's what you decided to do with your 20s?
I don't know. And I'd like to live in a world where we're not like, it's technically legal. Like, you should have some kind of morality about you. But what am I doing? Well,
that's some kind of morality about you.
I'm like expecting people to have some kind of moral character.
Yeah. No, which is sort of why sometimes laws do have to exist, because you want the ideal world to be like, well, everybody will just be considerate of one another if not for laws. And laws obviously overstep and are incorrect a lot and need to be changed all the time. But obviously, we can't govern ourselves as much as I would have loved to have said that for most of my life. We can't, because people are fucking monsters.
Right.
And that person, I guess, I wonder what the sentence is. Do you know what his sentence is?
I don't know. They've just been arrested. They mostly got arrested on the upskirt shots and like the nude photo shots, because that is illegal.
Where did he get nudes from?
I don't know. No one knows. It's just happening. He's like going in for questioning right now. I mostly wanted to open it up to like how do we say that this is illegal? Because from my perspective, it's the why you're doing it. Because it's the angle in the bushes. It's voyeurism. And that's illegal.
I guess the question, a challenge would be, how can you define that compared to somebody who's just like filming on a tour, like they're just a tourist and they're just like filming the night, or they're like, they have a camera out and they're like doing, what's it called?
Oh, my night, like one night in London, woo!
Right, or they're doing like a time lapse or something.
Me in London, but this was very like, I don't know if you've ever seen the videos. I didn't want to put it on here because I don't want more degradation of these women, but it was an obvious like, let's harass and dox these women and let's make fun of them for going out and having fun and looking really good.
But how would you legally then say what's different from that than somebody who's just innocently like filming a night in a town and posting it?
I think it's the intention, but then again, I don't know if intentions are illegal. The intention is let's dox and harass these women for being women, and not my night out and I accidentally catch a few women on camera, you know?
Yeah, it's so tricky. It's like a kind of a confusing space because you said like intention, and I do think that that's valid and probably does play a part in when things are being tried in court, but also it's tough. Like if he didn't have those nude things, he probably could have argued, I'm doing an art project about the city life of Manchester.
Right, when really he's just being a creep. But he's arrested.
Bye. Bye, idiot.
Bye. I have more news from more across the pond. Japan. Well, the good news is now women in medical fields, it's up to 40% more. Because since 2006, and maybe even sooner, a lot of Japan's medical affiliates were caught fibbing the exams to give men more points and take away women's points.
I saw this.
Women.
You have a video article because I remember hearing and seeing something about this, but I don't remember who it was specifically. Okay, women outperform men in Japanese medical school entrance exams years after testing scandal. So who is the one manipulating the exams?
These are, could I see the next one? The next slide? That's what they did. Can I see the next one? Sorry. Just medical schools. I mean, I can look at like the exact name.
Oh, so it's a specific medical school, it looks like.
But well, no, these are like over several medical schools. So it's like the board of directors of Japanese health.
I didn't look this up beforehand, but I wonder if it was a specific organization.
Well,
Japanese.
look that up, please. I should.
School.
Well,
women.
You know, this is why I don't work for Fox News.
Fox News?
Or maybe I should work for Fox News. God, wouldn't it be so great if I went on there and it was just like, I don't know, I can't vote.
Okay, this is saying... This is saying in 2018... Okay, Tokyo Medical University was found to have tampered with the scores of female applicants from as early as 2006. Reports cited concerns that many women would not go on to practice medicine. So it does look like it was specifically one school, and I wonder if it was a conspiracy, if there was one person who somehow, I don't know if it was one person or if there was a group of people.
That's a great question, and I just saw the medical schools. They did it, and you know. This is why feminism matters. This is why we should take a stand, ladies. The boys, the men, get them. I don't know, these fucking guys.
No, you're great. You did a good job. I'm proud of you. This is why feminism.
This is why feminism. But let's look at this, the thing with the numbers that they said, look at that. So if they take the test 3 times, but the first time, if the boy students didn't do it, they got 20 points added. Second time they failed, they got 10 points. Fourth time they failed, no points added. But third time, so they could fail it 3 times and still get 10 points added to the boys.
That's just stupid.
That's a fucking graph I saw on the internet.
I believe it. This is heavily reported on. I do think that there's there's this truth to this that a lot of people reported on it and is naming a specific school. So I imagine it is accurate because they would be able to sue all of the, papers reporting on it if it was just made up thing. So that is really depressing. And it also just, why?
Well, they said in what I read is that women tend to go off and have babies and get married, but not really because everybody has a birthing crisis.
Right.
Especially
So
Japan.
do you think maybe that's why they were thinking their fun little thoughts was like, well, they need to fail and then go make children.
They need to go fail and go make kids. But now they're outperforming dudes, I guess. So I don't know.
Well, maybe the ones with the penises should figure out how to have babies. Since they're so good at medicine, why don't you figure out how to have a baby rip out of your dick? I say give it a shot.
Oh, man. Ooh, I'm imagining that.
See, this is why you can't wear... I don't like blazers. I'm like sweating balls right now.
Take it off, Natalie.
I wish that this was a more exciting reveal. It's just a tank top.
I mean, you look great. Yeah, there we go.
I've been working for a while today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So, yes, that is fucking terrible. But also great because now the women are in there and they're not making the babies. Sorry.
Right.
Actually, probably a lot of them are making the babies still because they really can do it all.
Right. Somebody said that the Y chromosome is disappearing.
Who?
Fucking TikTok. Look at this.
Okay.
I'm not looking that up. I want to engage. I want to engage with this. Why it's gone? It's getting out of here.
I think you should just start saying that you said it, and then people can start repeating it.
You know, people talk shit all the time.
It's true.
And I want to be one of them.
You're doing it. You're crushing it. So, okay. We talked about earlier about how you were talking about thrifting. You were talking about you didn't want to go into Zara right now and just like stare at the racks and be like, oh, you choose one of these 4 things.
Right. It feels like I'm like buying a personality.
And
like, do you want soul A, soul B, soul C?
Right. And I think that that's totally valid and fair. And there's nothing wrong in some ways of like shopping at H&M and doing all that stuff, right? Obviously, there's a big issue with fast fashion. We have to have these big, long discussions about like, is it really moral to like mass produce clothes? And then if the clothes are being turned over so quickly, like when I worked fucking 20 years ago at Hot Topic, the clothes turnover was so fast before we were even having like a fast fashion discussion.
You worked at Hot Topic?
Yeah.
That's so cool. Nice.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Did you give one of these when the customers came in? Like, welcome to Hot Topic.
You have to. You're not allowed to legally be nice there. You work retail at Hot Topic. The coolest thing about that Hot Topic was that it was at Monroeville Mall, which is the mall where Dawn of the Dead was shot. And yeah, the original one. And some of it didn't look anything like the movie, but some of the old like freight elevators and stuff still had like blood stains on them.
Fun. Okay. So when you were working at Hot Topic and they were seeing so many clothes just been thrown away.
Yeah. So essentially, even back then, I made $5.15 an hour, not to brag, and we had like a 10% discount, right? So half the time, it was like one of 4 jobs I had at the time. I was pretty much spending my paycheck in the store. But you learn really quickly working there, if you wait a week, it'll be on the clearance rack because it's just this fast turnover of all of this garbage.
Yeah.
And it kind of, looking back, you kind of get that first glimpse working in retail of like, oh, this is all just going to a landfill. Which we can't control. Sometimes we're going to have something from fast fashions. You can't, I think if we obsess over being perfect about it, it feels like too much. And so you do what you can and you try to thrift and all that stuff. But on top of that, I think it's important right now we're having a big discussion about where we're spending money based on the values and morals of the company. Any major, huge company is going to have a bunch of like, you're going to have some stuff to say about their
Right.
decisions, because if you have a multi-billion-dollar company, you're doing something fucked up most of the time, right?
I can tell you, when I first was living in New York and temping, Jessica Simpson did a great thing, and she made suits cheap. So I could literally go into whatever store and get a Jessica Simpson full fit for like $20.
Sure.
And that like saved me.
Sure. And listen, I have bought many Jessica Simpson shoes. Are they ethically made? I actually have no fucking idea.
They're actually made out of Nick Lachey's balls.
Then yes.
So I don't know.
I would absolutely buy those. So yeah, there's no perfect solution. But in this day and age, I think we need to have a talk about companies that are doing things to actively harm, especially women, especially the companies who sell stuff to women who are also donating to Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation, to Trump, like all that stuff. I'm not getting into full politics here, but honestly, if you're here and you are like pro Project 2025, like I guess enjoy yourself.
Welcome.
I don't know.
Please keep listening to us. I don't want to shun you out, but these are some companies.
So there have
Out, yeah.
there's a couple different ways, because it's so fucking overwhelming. You know, every company you use is not going to be pristine. It's going to be like conflicts morally. Unfortunately, being a human being is violence at all times. But we're trying to take away as much of that as we can and be better people and be better culturally and societally, I think, hopefully. And there's some apps and stuff that help you kind of understand which companies you might be using that are like really spending a lot of their money hurting you and wanting you to die.
Tell us, Natalie.
So I want to play this first little TikTok. I just put this top list so you understand the gravity, like the list of companies that gave a lot of money to Trump and Project 2025. If you want to play that first video.
Or supported both parties equally or didn't donate politically at all. And that's a huge list. But right now we're going to go through this list. Ready? AutoZone, Ace Hardware, Allegiant Air, Arby's, Armor All cleaning products, for the car, Ashley Furniture, Bali, bras and underwear for women, Bausch and Lomb, Big Heart Pet Brands, Bike Athletics, that's men's underwear, Any Beer by Molson, Any Beer by Coors, Brooks Running Shoes, bummer, Buffalo Bills, I'm including the sports teams here, for donating bigly to Project 2025 and Trump, because most sports teams didn't donate at all, but I'm mentioning the ones that voted for Trump and Project 2025. Buffalo Wild Wings, Buick Cadillac, Carl's Jr., Champ Clothing, anything by Hanes really, Chevrolet, Cincinnati Financial, Cinnabon, Conair Hair Products, which are all your hair products at like Meijer's in your pharmacy, Cuisinart Kitchen Products, Dairy Queen, Dirt Devil, Discount Tire, Dole Foods, that's a lot of frozen fruits and canned fruits, Dudley Sports, Exxon.
You can cut it off.
Farber.
There's no way you're going to remember each and every one of these from that video, but that's just an example of the number of companies that, and I want to break down what that means exactly, because it's obviously not just like the entire company of Dole all went like, we're donating all of our money. Each one of us in our paycheck is giving over money to Trump and to Project 2025. So there's these different aspects of looking at these companies, and there's debate even by like making that list, which is super helpful. And also, if you want to pop up the screenshots that I have. So this creator, whose name is available on that screen, it's EV. What the fuck does it say? Hang on, let me find it.
Let me see if I can read my eyes. EVEEDORH. Dorb. Eve Dorb.
So that person has made succinct lists from that woman's list. That woman who was just speaking goes by Real Progressive 111 on TikTok. But so if you look at, for example, this still that's up right now, that's stores that donated to Project 2025, Home Goods, Publix, Hobby Lobby, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ashley Furniture, GNC, Ace Hardware, AutoZone, Discount Tire, Tractor Supply, Walmart, what's that one there? Motorola, Boost Mobile. Yeah. So here's some restaurants. It's mostly fast food places. It's like the main chains of fast food. So those are huge, mega conglomerates. This is, if you're watching this, the sports teams, what this generally means is that here's all the clothing. This one I also want to bring up. This is what I want to talk about. So the clothing donation, LL Bean, Brooks Running Shoes. What's that third one? Bali. I don't know them. We have the ones that are really a bummer: Anthropology, Free People, Urban Outfitters.
I can see that though.
Yes, absolutely. And it's not that they were great, but they are very much pretend feminism.
Anthropology is that one girl that's like, oh my God, I was raised so poor. We only had 2 horses.
Right. Yes. It's extremely overpriced.
That's what that store is.
For the quality of it. But so those major companies that we were just talking about, like, what does it mean that they donated to Project 2025? What does that mean? It's not the whole company. Also, guys, like liquor here, we're like Grey Goose, Tito's, Bacardi, most beer, anything Coors and Miller, Geico, the insurance company. These are all companies whose generally the CEO or one of the very top level people of the company, including the sports teams, for example. It's not like the Buffalo Bills, all the football players pulled their money together and gave it to Trump.
Right.
The guy who owns it, however, gave 6 figures to Trump in Project 2025 and the politicians around them.
And Little Ash makes a great point. It sucks, but I don't think it's representative of the employees who work for these companies. I feel like it's shareholders and CEOs.
It's correct, except those ones that are listed are not even just shareholders. They are generally being the reference that they are being put on this list is not that, the company is donated to both sides. The company has some Republican leanings. It's that they are major donors to things that are connected to Project 2025 and to Trump specifically, Trumpism, MAGAism.
That's so much money.
Oh, well, we'll get into that in a second. So those companies, those CEOs, so let's, for example, Urban Outfitters, Free People, and Anthropology are all owned by the same company. It's called URBN, is the company that oversees all of them. And the guy who has started Urban Outfitters and now is the CEO and owner of all of those things is deeply embedded in far-right conservatism. So his name's Richard Hain. I don't remember if I sent you I think I sent you a photo. I don't know if you have it, Kelly. If you have it, there he is.
Oh, this guy? He's making all the cute dresses for the girls?
Yeah. So.
Okay, Lolita.
Yeah. I mean, so that guy is the head top of that company, and his wife is the acting CEO, the first woman who's ever overseen any of those women's clothing companies. And he's owned all of them for a long time. He has been donating heavily to people like Rick Santorum, Mitt Romney, like for a lot of his life. But he donated like $100,000 to pro-life Pennsylvania Republican this year. He's connected to all of these really far-right, really dangerous to women politicians, and he's given lots and lots of money. So basically what you're doing, you're not everybody who works for that company is bad. And a lot of people who are higher up are good people and care about women. Unfortunately, the man who controls all of the company, all of those stores, the way that they are manufactured and collects the billions, he's a billionaire. He wants you to die. Like, he does not give a fuck about the people who buy the clothes from his company. He shovels slop to you that is definitely fast fashion, that is ripped off. Like, they are always in trouble for stealing from smaller designer designs. They steal all the time. And that money that you're paying to that company, some of that money is going directly into those programs that are trying to take away your rights.
You're paying, like, if I go and spend $120 on a sock at Anthropology, which those are the fucking prices, they're going to take like $5 of that and put it towards the the women have to carry your child even if
Yes.
Even if it's an ectopic pregnancy and you could die from it.
Yeah.
Fund.
And so even though that guy is voting against his company's own interests, he doesn't think you're ever going to give a shit. He doesn't think that you're ever going to make, he's like, it's not going to affect my money, even though I'm voting against your human rights. You're still going to buy my garbage that I put out.
I mean, I could see why, because I feel like, you know, little by little, we've been pushed to be like, let's see how much they can take. Let's see how much they can take. And now we're just kind of like, I don't know, TikTok, roll me over.
It's confusing. It's understandable why people don't want to be like, I don't know, this doesn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. So there's a couple different websites that you can look at, but a lot of it is insidious. And so when you're seeing lists like that, you shouldn't just trust a lady on TikTok. You shouldn't just trust me. But if people are saying the same companies over and over again, there's probably truth to it, and you can kind of look into it because, so there's really great websites. There's one called Goods Unite Us. They have an app, but I've personally found their website to be more up to date than their app. So you can basically go to this website. Do you want to switch over to my screen?
Oh, it looks like Chobani, the yogurt company, is mostly Republican.
Yes, it is, unfortunately. That's one of them. But if you go to so Marshall's, TJ Maxx, and Home Goods are all owned by the same company, and it's called TJX. You pop that guy in. You can see how it's distributed. This is not, the 2024 distribution is not fully up yet. This is over the last primaries and stuff predominantly and the last presidential election, but they're not companies that shift a lot in their morals. And so this is, if you look at this, it's 89% Republican. You can see here that it's saying the company didn't donate it, but the senior employees donated. 89% of their donations went to Republicans and specifically Donald Trump.
Can we look up my favorite cottage cheese brand?
What is it?
Good Culture. And my second favorite is Knudsen.
I don't think they're big enough to have.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about this one? This one's bigger. Knudsen.
Yeah, they're not showing up.
Yes. Yes.
And a lot of this, when they don't show up, a lot of times that means that they're not big enough to have made a space in this world. They probably don't even have that much money to donate maybe to politicians, but also that sometimes means that they are politically they're apolitical.
They're just making their cottage cheese. Yes, Good Culture, your friend Carrie. It is so good. It is superior quality cottage cheese. And I make it a little bit. I put in some roasted beets and some lime juice, a little bit of salt, a little bit of roasted garlic.
They use children in their factory.
No! Sorry, Natalie.
No, they don't.
Getting off
They don't.
the
I'm just
tangent.
kidding. So thus far, I don't see that on here. But goodsunitus.com is a good one to check. However, it doesn't make it fully clear because it doesn't necessarily always break down what this means. So if you went to that site, right, and you go to TJ Maxx.
Those children do have good gut health. You're right.
TJ Maxx shows up, 66% Democrat, although they also have contributed money, the top employees, to Ben Carson and Donald Trump, right? And you're like, okay, that's weird. So I guess they're kind of split. However, this is just a subsidiary of TJX. So even if this company is showing up as, oh, there's more Democratic donations, also, I don't even necessarily care about exactly what they're donating to on the Democratic side as much as I'm concerned with if they're voting for literal women enslavement.
Right.
when they're putting their money into Trumpism and Ben fucking Carson, are you kidding me?
Gross. Can we look at my favorite pickle company? It's Bubby's. Bubbis. And I'm telling you, if you're hungover, sip some of the juice.
Not on here.
Yes!
Scrubbing bubbles, however, Johnson & Johnson is not good.
Ben and Jerry's.
Ben and Jerry's, I'm pretty sure, is still safe.
Small Short says, I love Bubbies. That's right. They're delicious. And your friend Carrie, you love Bubbies too. Yes.
I don't know why that one's not showing up. Also, so if there's stuff that doesn't show up here, and also you need to cross-reference things, especially when money's hidden in different places. I want to show you another one of this woman's videos, not because she's the only authority, but she makes a really good points in this other video.
So I made a TikTok video yesterday, and now it's sitting at just over 2 million views, and it was a starter list I compiled of companies to avoid that donated to fascism. And I promised I'd get a list of safe companies. And something happened yesterday while I was building the list of safe companies that prompted me to make this TikTok. I want to create a group of grassroots volunteers, those of you watching, people who like to sleuth like I do, to get to where companies are actually hiding their donations to fascism. And anybody out there that's talented with creating spreadsheets and maintaining this data up to date so that we can have a living, breathing link that every one of us can post in our bios on TikTok and share everywhere. I want you to private message me if you're interested in any of those roles as volunteers for us to work as just grassroots maintaining this list. Listen, Goods Unite Us is a great start. But what happened last night? I was about to put Bath and Body Works on the safe list because they indicated they don't donate to any election or candidate. So I did my due diligence and I went to Open Secrets. And sure enough, as a corporation, they didn't donate to Democrats or Republicans. But what Open Secrets shows is what employees donated to, who they donated to, and how much. They don't give the names of these employees. And overwhelmingly, the majority of employees donated to Harris, but dollar-wise, Republican dollars blew that all away because one individual donated $100,000 to America PAC of Texas. And America PAC of Texas was designed just to help Donald Trump get elected. They raised almost $180 million just this year alone. And one of their biggest donors of $70 million was Elon Musk through SpaceX, just to help Donald Trump get elected. So someone from Bath and Body Works donated $100,000 to help get Donald Trump elected. So now I go over to the Super PACs page on Open Secrets where they do give the names of the donors. And there's like 3 donors that gave exactly $100,000. That made it easy. And that's when I recognized the name of the founder of Bath and Body Works. And that would have made it on our safe list.
So you can shut it off here. So obviously it's not as simple as cut and dry, this is good, this is bad. However, I would say that if a company's owner and CEO is donating 6 figures to wishing you dead, you might want to make that decision about your shopping. You know, it's not that the company is garbage, it's not the company's fault, but if the person who runs the whole company is giving that much money, I don't know. I think it's at least worth maybe looking somewhere else for the same fucking garbage that Bath and Body Works has somewhere else.
Right. I still don't understand how so many things are legal. Again, with the it's legal. Like if you're a company and you're giving someone $1 million to win and they how is that legal? I don't know.
It's crazy. If you want to cut over to my screen again. So if you go to this is opensecrets.org. This is another thing that she was just talking about that you can look up people and companies, and it delves a little bit deeper than Goods Unite Us into where money comes from. But again, like she said, sometimes you have to go 3 or 4 steps in to be like, oh, this company's owner is trying to get the worst human beings on earth into the leadership roles in our country. And you can't always know. But sorry, can you go back again?
Can we nominate a president by word of mouth? Remember when Marilyn Manson, we all collectively were like, yeah, he took out his ribs to suck his own dick. And that was before the internet. Can we do that with president?
Well, that wasn't real, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't think he actually, maybe not. Wasn't he supposed to also be the guy from Wonder Years? Anyway, so if you look at my screen, if you're watching, this is opensecrets.org, top contributors, federal election data for Donald Trump 2024 cycle. You'll see at the top is this person, a single man, whose name is Timothy Mellon, donated $150 million to the Trump campaign. Whoa. Right underneath him is SpaceX, which donated $118 million, almost $119 million to the Trump campaign. And then I didn't even look at this third one. I will, but Adelson Clinic for Drug Abuse Treatment and Research gave him $100 million. What in the living fuck is that? But yeah, the reason that I guess SpaceX can do that is because Elon did it through his company. I don't know. If anybody knows more about the way that those legal things work, people, I guess shitty people with billions of dollars can do whatever they want.
Yeah, you just hire the right. I feel like law is like a magic act. Like people will just keep doing something very unethical. And then you're like, please stop it. And they're like, it's legal. And then you're like, oh, alakazam. And they're like, whoa, okay, we got to get our lawyers in on this ASAP. And I'm like, couldn't you just not done this the whole time?
Well, yeah, it's like it literally always boils down to if they have money or not. It's like people who are rich don't live by laws.
How do I make $1 billion?
I don't think anybody should have $1 billion, to be honest.
Your friend Carrie says Bath & Body Works is also one of those companies that destroys their old merchandise and completely undermines actual supply and demand, creating more waste and inflation and all that BS.
For sure. And there's so many things we could say, like, completely thank you for pointing that out, your friend Carrie. A lot of these, like, major mall box stores are destroying the environment on top of anything else. So that's just like a little cherry on top that they also want to take away your human rights.
Right. Well, these companies got to make the bottom line.
So yeah, a lot of the people who are donating to Trump, if you'll notice, are the major like fast fashion, big box places who want literally, I don't know if because they hate you as a woman or if they are trying to make money. And I don't know which one, if it matters, because they're both equally fucked up, because if they are just trying to save tax money and are indifferent about human suffering, I don't think you're any better.
Well, it's more kids to buy the product. I wish, because I know some countries stopped taking American trash. I believe India did in like the mid 2000s. So we just have piles and piles of trash, and I want us to see it. Can we see it? Because it's just like landfills the size of Texas somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know where they go.
The little bit of environmental biology I did in college 20 years ago literally gave me an anxiety disorder because it's so bleak.
We need to see it. We need to see the trash that we are putting upon the earth, because I know, like, if you're a company and I'm like, say these 2 bottles here, like no one wants it. Imagine like they haven't been opened yet. No one wants these bottles. No, so I'm just going to go throw one of these away. So then you have to buy one of them. But what happens to this one can that's thrown away? Now imagine that as like families, states, empires. They're just like, oh, T-shirt, I don't want it. Like, where does it go?
Well, also with Americanism too, where like we're so obsessed with consumerism, it's almost like funny and cute to certain people in this country to throw things away and to be like, I'm Mr. Big King Baby. I can do whatever I want. Isn't that fucking cool? And it's encouraged in a lot of circles. I wanted to also just briefly bring up this, the same, I wanted to show you a little bit about Timothy Mellon, the man who donated money to the top donor, basically, of the Trump campaign. You've probably heard of the Mellon family. They're actually all over Pittsburgh, my hometown. They have Mellon Arena is the fucking hockey arena, I think.
Carnegie Mellon?
Carnegie Mellon is 2 different dynasty families. So Carnegie, which is pronounced Carnegie in Pittsburgh and Carnegie literally everywhere else, is one dynasty family who I'm sure did horrible things too. And then the Mellon family is a different family. And it makes up a lot of Pittsburgh business. But this guy, Timothy Mellon, he is currently 82 years old. He's the guy who gave $150 million to the Trump campaign. He is obviously a part of that family, so he's an investor. He was born as a billionaire. He talks about how he would go to school on a private jet all that stuff. He's never been a human being. He's never existed as a person. He has no humanity to him. He has no empathy, no compassion, but he is like more wealthy than any person should ever be. And I just wanted to like explain a little bit about who he is as a person. He has been obsessed with Trumpism for the last decade. Here's something that he wrote in his book at one point. Something has obviously gone dreadfully wrong with the great society in liberal onslaught. Poor people have become no less poor. Black people, in spite of heroic efforts by the establishment to right the wrongs of the past, become even more belligerent and unwilling to pitch in to improve their own situations. Drugs rose to the level of epidemic. Single-parent families became more and more prevalent. The likes of Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton pandered endlessly to fan the flames. So he says black people are lazy. He gave a bunch of money to build the Southern Wall. He is anti-feminism. He is anti-women's rights. He started in 2023 donating $15 million to MAGA Inc. And then after Trump was convicted of all of the felonies, he donated another $50 million. And then in 2024 of this year, he donated another $75 million to make sure Trump could win the election. So these are the people who paid for the election. So there's that guy. There is Elon Musk, who I have a ton of conspiracy theories about personally. Did you know that Diddy invested in X when he was first... when Elon was first buying it, he invested almost a quarter of the money for X.
Wow. Good old wholesome Diddy.
Yeah, Diddy and Elon were good buddies, and Diddy contributed. And my question is, why did those two guys want to control the media? Were they trying to hide stuff? That couldn't be it, right? There's no way that Elon got invested in the U.S. election because he's trying to hide a bunch of secrets, right? There's no way.
Ooh, Natalie.
There's no way.
Well, I think he was caught having like an account on X where he was a baby. He likes the baby cosplay because I think he's like, Daddy needs a wipe.
I don't care about that. He can be as weird, as freaky as he wants in his own time. My conspiracy, allegedly, my made-up thing that Natalie just said, I think that there's something real bad that's going to come out about him, and he's trying everything he can, including buying social media apps to prevent it from coming out.
If you have enough money, you can do anything you want.
That's just my little lady thoughts.
Right.
But he, for whatever reasons that he is the second largest donor to the MAGA campaign, regardless of whether or not they say that they are connected or know anything about it, are absolutely enacting Project 2025. Amber, you have been screaming this much longer than I have. You are right. You were saying this a couple years ago. They're doing this thing called Project 2025. It doesn't sound good. And I feel like I was just like, don't worry about that.
Well, you're much more logical. So I'm like looking at all this like the sun isn't real. So whenever I say one thing that's true, of course it's like, all right, well.
No, you were right to be concerned about it. But yeah, so Diddy, he invested $10 million of Musk's 44. I'm sorry, not a quarter. He did $10 million of the $44 billion acquisition. It's a tiny fraction of $44 billion.
Right.
But $10 million is still a big investment.
That's a lot. I want to know the end game. Like what, because a lot of money, there's a lot of power going on. There's a lot of like, I got to get it done. Let's imagine for a minute, it's done. The ideal, whatever this fucking guy's world is, happens. What is it? What would it look like? Slavery? Would it be? What would it be?
I to be honest, I really think some of these dudes are doing all this because they're trying to prevent things about them coming out. I really think they're literally trying to avoid jail by destroying this country. I really do. This is full conspiracy.
I like it.
So
Natalie.
just take it with a grain of salt, but that's the feeling I have about it.
Well, they don't like democracy. There's been a lot of people on the far right who've openly said they don't like democracy. Now, these people are called terrorists. They just want to rule with impunity. They want to rule. And if you ever say, hey, I don't like how this is done, off with your head, not mine. So we're still, even in that we're like the last little inch of it, but we are still the rulers of America, and the political pundits, they're our servants. They are our servants. We do have the power to, right now.
I like how extremists we're both being today.
Right.
I'm into it.
Right.
No, I mean, I don't think you're wrong, but can I add one more, my personal conspiracy theories? Yeah. So there's this stuff, right, about Elon and Diddy. If you start to if you Google stuff about Elon and Diddy, he has been lashing out at all of these other people, right? He's been saying all of this like really bombastic stuff about Ellen DeGeneres. He's going around saying like, what did all these people know about Diddy over and over again? And you have to scroll like to the second page of Google to find anything about him knowing Diddy. But all of it is like, Elon goes after Ellen. Elon goes after the establishment. It's like, all of these things, and it's almost like he is saying all of it, so that shows up first when people talk about it. Oh, and then when you finally get to like this other thing, it's not conspiracy. Like, he was with Diddy all the time until like a year ago.
Well, this is something Elon has even publicly said. If like when you want to hide something, you want to blast a lot of other information out, so then it's like fourth or fifth down because your brain doesn't want to keep scrolling. You want the information fast. That's what he does. He does it on purpose.
I think he's doing it.
That's a lot of reason why like journalism is dying. Well, they're being attacked by, right-wing people, but big reason journalism is dying is like people just aren't reading the articles. My brain, it was rotted by BuzzFeed. I want the top five pizzas based on your zodiac sign. And then I want to like the 1 and the 2. That I don't want to read 6 pages of fine print from a Smarty Pants.
Yeah.
But I should.
It's hard. We're all inundated with constant information. It makes sense that if people want to be manipulative, they make you inundated with other information. I'm just saying. He obviously didn't get fucking X to make money. It's tanking.
Right.
I'm just saying.
He did it to buy the election. Well, I'm looking at these far right guys, and I was raised pretty right wing, I'm not anymore, but I understand this world, right? And I'm looking at different forms of thought within the winners. And they're not fighting yet, but I see cat fights because, like, your uncle who voted for Trump for less taxes and because he's a patriarch or good old boy, he doesn't know what Dogecoin is. Right. He doesn't know what Bitcoin. He doesn't know how to work at Tesla. That's all queer business to him. Right. So I don't know when are they going to start fucking catfighting? I can't wait.
It always will eventually crumble, right? Because that's why inherently like the Illuminati doesn't really make sense as far as like the mystical aspect of it, because each one of those horrible people are all self-absorbed. They all only care about themselves. And so to have this like machine factory of all of these like overlords who see over everything, they're all too fucking stupid and selfish to like actually develop like something.
You mean they're all going to sit in a room with suits on and like develop a business plan?
No.
They can't.
Because they're all trying to backstab each other at the end of the day. Yeah, we got real InfoWars today.
We did.
I'm just saying, there's things to think about. I'm not saying it's true, but I do think it is important to go look at companies and stuff and just to like make decisions and go, do we really need to buy all this garbage? Like,
no, we just don't. We don't need to buy it. And when tariffs hit, who knows what will happen? Knock on wood, pray to God that the average American person won't starve to death, but things might get more expensive. And then we might have to go back in a time where I save glass jars and I keep drinking water and coffee out of them. And I piss in them and I shit in them. And I fuck them and I suck them. But, I save. I buy a good
you save all of those fluids. There will be somebody who will pay you for it, like who really likes you.
That's somebody. Maybe this guy over here.
So put your farts in a jar.
Go sign up at your library because that's how they get funded. Oh, go sign up? Okay.
Yeah, libraries are I'm so happy people are like really enjoying libraries again. I miss going to libraries.
If you're in LA, there's a thing called the Oculus Lab, and I signed up for free. You can go in their basement, and there's free sewing machine. You just have to sign up on like a time to use it, so there's no fighting or whatever, like of using it. You can go embroider a machine. There's a podcast studio.
Oh no, not more podcasts.
I want to see a podcast from the public library.
I know, that's actually kind of awesome.
But like sewing machines, that's why I signed up for it. A lot of like 3D printers. So if you live in the LA area or like anywhere, I'm sure there's resources that if you take 2 or 3 steps to learn that you could get, and let's do it now before it's too late.
Thank you guys so much for hearing our screams into the abyss tonight. Thank you also for the subs. Mint Chip Monday, Gnarly Harley 88, Sar 626 subbed and gifted 10 subs. Whoa. Action Bastard gifted 10 subs. Oh my God, thank you guys so fucking much. That's awesome. Really appreciate you being here. None of us can do everything perfect or not. We can't eliminate full harm. Just being alive is harm, but we can still try to be the best people we can, right? But like, don't stress over it. You can't make everything perfect. Just make little changes, and that matters.
And life is beautiful. I don't think being alive is harm. I think it can be very beautiful and
wonderful. I'm being very cynical right now.
No, yeah. No, you're good.
You're good.
We're all good here. I feel what I do with these 2 cans I just chugged water out of.
Life is good, yes.
Piss in it?
No, yeah, piss in them. Somebody, they'll be up for auction.
I can grow a plant out of it. I don't know. I'm just going to throw it in the recycling.
I used to smoke weed out of cans.
There we go. Get another reduce, reuse.
I helped.
Yeah. Bye, everybody. We love you.
Oh, funny video.
Yeah, we got a funny video.
So if you have a disempowering relationship with money and with credit, where you feel like your money and your debt controls you and you don't control it, take your credit card, put it in the bathtub and pee on it, because you are asserting dominance. You are energetically changing your relationship and showing that you're in charge now. You're taking control. You're going to make some good decisions and trust yourself, because you're better with money than you think.
Wow, that was really on theme to what we were already just talking about.
Oh my God. And that was when I noticed I got to get off of witch talk and on to normal people talk, because I was like, okay, wait, this is kind of silly, but.
I mean, I say piss on it.
Piss on your card.
That's all I got.
I don't have credit card bullshit, so I'm fine. I don't got to pee on mine. But.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.
Wow. Incredible. Amazing. Lumify Redness Reliever Eye Drops really work.
They dramatically reduce redness in 1 minute.
I love how my eyes look whiter and brighter.
And it lasts for up to 8 hours.
They make my eyes look refreshed.
Lumify? It's kind of amazing. It was love at first sight. With Lumify. Try it for yourself. Learn more at lumifyeyes.com.
When living with cancer, it's important to be informed and know what to expect. But finding the right information can feel overwhelming. That's why UnderstandCancerTogether.com is here to help. We've gathered practical information and resources based on where you are in your cancer journey, so that you can focus on the important conversations and decisions of today. UnderstandCancerTogether.com, helping you navigate life with cancer, one moment at a time.